As I introduced myself outside, I'm Detective World, this is Detective Blair. I know you're cold, you've been here, thank you. I know
I'm
Detective
tired
Sands,
now.
I know.
You asked me, I'm like, oh.
So we'll try to get everything we need and get you out of here as fast as we can. Just want to let you know that before we get started, this is all video and audio recorded. Let me just start this for our backup. So today's date is March 26, 2018.
May 26th.
What did I say?
March.
May 26, 2018. It's approximately 4:35 in the morning regarding case number 18-362-589. It's Detective Royal, AVN 222-880, and Detective Blair,
AVN 5132.
And we're here. All I know is it's Lora, correct?
Yes.
And how you spell that?
Lora.
Okay. And what's your last name?
Polatz, Polatz.
Birthday. Obviously you're here. I know you've probably spoken to a few people already. We're here to investigate a shooting involving Mr. and Miss Hendley, correct?
Yes.
And from what I've been told so far, you were at the house throughout the day and when all this happened. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of take me through today. What happened today?
Well, in the beginning, we were having, a couple of drinks. Kids got out of school, having fun. And then later on during the evening, I don't know what started it. Like, we had a good time. And then Sabrina was like, oh, I can't find my phone, change the music. So we were looking for the phone. She seemed a little irritated. And they wasn't fighting. And then next thing you know, they kind of like got in an argument and he wouldn't let it go. And I'm like, why are you arguing? Let her be. Like,
So Sabrina and her husband are arguing.
Yeah, slightly. Like, they wasn't like, she was trying to like diffuse it. Like, I don't know what started it because I don't like trying to get in people's marriages. Sure. I noticed they had like a little bit of arguing because she couldn't find her phone. He was like, no, don't worry about the phone, blah, blah, blah. And then he just kept on pushing her in the pool, like egging her on. He kept on just non-stop, just pissing her off.
Like what? Do you know what he was saying?
No, I don't. He was just more like picking on her, but roughly, like grab her, because that's how he is. He's more like a rough guy. He like plays around. And she's like, just leave me alone. And then he's like, comes outside and he has this knife. Like, oh, you see this? And I'm like, oh, hold on. I get it. It's cool and all. Military, we're all military. I'm like, you shouldn't be bringing this out. We've been drinking, like guns. You don't bring drink, He's like, no, and they start arguing. She's like, no, go put the knife up. You don't need to bring it out. And like, he was more of like a threatening thing towards her. I don't know if he was joking because I really don't know him because he's never home. So I don't really know his joking side, like, at all. But he wouldn't let it go. So I took the knife, and this is what started. I took it, and I'm like, trying to take it away and go hide it. Like, this shouldn't be out. We have kids at the house on the inside. So I try to take the knife away to go hide it. He goes, give me the knife. And I'm like, no, obviously y'all are fighting. I'm going to go put it away. And that's when he threatened me. He was like, you should give me this knife. Otherwise, there's going to be consequences. And I was like, okay. I put the knife down. I go get my kid and I leave. I'm like, and I told Sabrina's dad, I said, some bad stuff's going to happen. I'm leaving. My kid is sleeping and I'm not dealing with this. I'll drop my kid off and I'm kind of worried about them because of how his temper is. So I came back just to assess the situation. And that's when I walked in and I went to the dad's bedroom where he was at, and that's when I heard the gunshot. And I didn't see anything, so when I went in there, like, she had the gun. I tried to like grab the gun from her, like, hey, put this shit down, and he's on the floor. And then I saw, the kids, and I was like, she put the gun down, I grabbed the kids, and I just left.
So the kids were in the room where
I think one of them was, and one was in the living room. So I took. So the only thing I can see why not saying it's right, but I don't know what happened in that time because he did have that knife and he was doing a threatening motion with it after I tried to take it away to go hide it because I didn't know what was going on. So I don't know if he did that during that time when I left to go drop my kids off. So I don't know what happened in between that time within like 10 minutes.
So let me ask you this. When he comes out with the knife, you say he comes outside. Where are you guys at?
On the patio.
So you're on the back patio by the pool. And he comes out with, and you're kind of motioning my hand, is it a pretty big knife?
Yeah, like
Okay.
a military light knife.
And where is everyone at and while he's doing this?
He's just joking around like, oh, look at the knife, you know, like kind of like he's joking, but he's pretty much, like mentally threatening her a little bit. And I'm like,
Is he close to her?
yeah, he was close. And that's why I was trying to, you know, calm the situation down. But he was like, it has nothing to do with you. I'm like, I know I don't like to get in people's marriages, but this ain't right. I'm like, and so, yeah.
Did he make any physical threats?
No, I didn't
You
hear.
heard?
Yeah, I
While
didn't
you were
hear-
there?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything, but it was just like the gesture,
Emotions.
the emotions that I was hearing, because I'm just like, oh my God, this is not happening. But I didn't hear any gestures like, oh, I'm going to cut you or anything like that. He was just being more like physically, you know, dominating over that situation, but not talking wise.
Okay. When you said earlier that they were playing, but he was grabbing her type thing.
Yeah, he's like the aggressive type guy. He likes to take control of who you do what you want to do. Like that's how he is. Like again, I don't really know him as well. Like normally when we do hang out, he seems pretty decent guy, but I always knew he was kind of weird of how he does certain things, like
Sure.
how he lives his life, and I'm just like, oh, he's weird, but you know, but I didn't think it was this extreme. You know, like I didn't see that coming.
But when you saw that they were doing, was it like a physical fight or?
With the knife, I didn't think it was a physical
No, not the
fight.
knife
No.
part. Like you said he grabbed her and you like kind of put your.
Well,
Was she?
Well, she was getting mad because he wouldn't let it go. She was like, leave me alone. And he kept on just pushing her in the pool, dragging her around. Like he just, you know, was agonizing,
Okay.
like, you know, trying to start a fight.
Okay.
And she was like, leave me alone. I'm like, dude, like, leave her alone. You're antagonizing everything tonight. She's not fighting you. And so he just constantly was just like manhandling her a little bit.
Okay. So after the knife incident, you decided to leave.
Yeah.
You know about what time that was?
No, I don't.
Was it dark out?
Yeah.
Okay, so after 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then you're gone for about how long? Do you
About
think?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So you just go home, drop your child off, and come back.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you come in, you go straight to the dad's room.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, what's going on? Because I heard them arguing. And he goes, you know, he attacked me. And I'm like, oh my God. I hear pop. And I'm like, what the hell? So I run in there. And I'm like, and so I told her, she's like, you shouldn't do this. And I didn't hear what she was saying. So I was trying to grab the gun and just like have her put it down
Where was she at?
in her bedroom,
Where in the bedroom?
right in front of the bed. And he was in the bathroom on the floor.
How much distance between them would you say?
A little bit further than us.
Okay.
So.
Did you see the knife in there?
No, I didn't. I was in there for a brief moment trying to get the gun out, and then I noticed kid was in the bed, and that's what was my main focus. Was I didn't want that.
When you left the first time, you left the knife. You said you like put it down, gave it to, but you guys were on the patio at that time.
We were on the patio, and then when we came inside, he was trying to look for her because she wanted to get away from him. She was like, "Leave me alone," so she walked outside, and he kept on following her around, and that's when he came to a threat with me. You will give me that knife. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing to you. I'm just trying to make you not do something stupid because you're obviously, you got too much emotion going on. I'm trying to go hide it.
Okay.
And then that's when he kind of made it like a threat. I was kind of nervous.
Sure.
He's a bigger guy, and I'm like, okay. And so I put it down, and I'm like, I took my kid and left. And I told her dad, I'm like, you need to watch them. I'm leaving. So
Can you describe the knife?
Jigsaw-like type.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this.
So like a buck knife type thing that
Yeah.
have a big handle?
Like a survival knife?
Yeah,
like a
because
K-bar?
he's a military guy. He
Yeah.
does all that survival stuff, so.
Okay. Do you know of any past domestic violence between them?
Well, from what I know, he always is somewhat like aggressive towards her. But I don't know, like I said, I don't really know him as much because he's always gone.
Okay.
So when they do come home, they do argue a lot because it's his way or the highway. You know, he's
Yeah.
kind of more the aggressor of the bunch. So
When you came back and you went straight to the to Sabrina's dad's room, did he? And he said that he attacked me. Did he give any detail to you?
no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Were you guys wrestling? Were you and he wrestling earlier tonight, like in the
Oh
boat?
yeah, we were like having a good time, wrestling, playing. No issue because like I do that with my own husband. Like, hey, wrestle. Playing around. Like no fighting. Like
Okay.
nothing. We're just having a good time. And then it's just like, I don't even know what happened. Like, seriously, I don't know. I'm like, 1 minute we're having a good time. It's like, what did I miss here? I'm like, I'm going home. Like, I don't know what happened.
Did you see at any point her running around outside or anything like that, Sabrina?
Well, she was having fun, but what type of running around? Like, scared running? Or
Yeah, like scared running, trying to hide.
Well, she was, and after the knife incident, when I took it.
Okay.
And that's when she left, and I tried to go hide it because I'm like, it's not cool having something out. And she was
Okay.
like, leave me alone, I'm going. So that's when I took it. Well, tried to take it.
Well, let me ask you: was whatever argument they were having, I know you're trying not to be involved in everyone's marriage. Whatever argument was it something that was evident that this is like the way that they argue? You know how you can tell with some couples, it's like, okay, it's not normal for me, but this may be their normal.
Yeah.
Or was it over the top? Maybe I should call 911.
Well, I see. I'm used to them always like having an argument,
Okay.
but I never seen this side of them, like really seeing it until like when they were wrestling and his aggressive side like played out.
So it was strange to you, but
Yeah.
was it law enforcement worthy of?
Well, not at
Domestic
first,
abuse?
but with the gun incident, I mean not the gun, the knife. I went home. My husband's like, "Did your dad call the police? Like what's going on?" I was like, "He said he did," and I'm nervous. He's like, "Well, don't go back." I'm like, "I'm going back. They're gonna call." I'm he's like, "Watch the kids. You're not here. You didn't say anything," but.
So your husband was not at the.
No, he was there earlier, but he left with my older daughter.
Okay. About what time did they leave?
Right before dark, probably like 7,
7. How old's your younger daughter?
6.
6.
How much did you guys drink?
Every other weekend.
No.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like every other weekend I have
Sorry.
enjoyed time. I'm like, well, I had a couple beers and then they had some vodka, but it's nothing that. I'm not saying I'm like get totally drunk, but I mean I wasn't. I mean yeah, I have a good buzz.
Sure.
But that's.
Was anyone falling over intoxicated?
I mean Sabrina was, and normally she never really drinks a lot, like hardly ever, and she got a little toasted tonight, but she was enjoying herself, and I'm like, wow, you're actually having fun tonight,
Did you know that they had come back from a cruise? Or
Yeah.
They were going on a cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Did she say anything? Did she
She said
indicate
they never even, they were fine.
everything was
so-
fine?
Did Sabrina make any comments to you
About what?
about what happened tonight?
Oh, I haven't even seen her. Like
So when you went in the room, you put the gun down.
I just grabbed the kids.
Grabbed
and
the
I-
gun. So
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't
Did
want
you?
nothing.
So and I think you made a comment that she was saying something you couldn't really hear what she was saying.
Yeah, like she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, why'd you do that?" or something like that.
Okay.
My main focus was putting the gun
Sure.
down and getting the kid. I mean, that was it.
Was she holding the gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
And where did you put it down?
I had her. I didn't want to touch it, but I had her try to like put it down, and then I noticed kid, and then I was like, so I grabbed the kid. I was like, "Put the gun down." She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe," and then she's like, "Ah." But I think what happened is he probably got physically with her because I've heard she told me in the past that he's done that, and like her dad and him would fight all the time. So
Toxic.
Yeah, like it's not a good thing.
I was going to ask you a question. When you walked in, you said you could hear them arguing. What was being said?
At what point?
When you said earlier you said when you came back, you went into the dad's room. And
It was
you could hear.
mumbling. I can hear the loudness, but I don't know what they were talking about. I can't hear through the walls. I can just tell, and that's when I went straight. because I didn't want to go there, and that's when I went straight to the dad. So.
Okay.
And was he still on the patio, or was he?
No, he was in the room.
In his room?
Was Dad drinking too?
No, he doesn't drink.
He doesn't drink. Okay.
Was there anything that you recall from tonight that we didn't discuss that could help us with our investigation?
I mean, anything. I mean, everything I said was truthful, and I mean, I don't know. Within that 10 minutes, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened between them because I wasn't there.
How strong of a 10 minutes is that? Is that you're pretty confident it was 10 minutes?
Well, I
or
went
was
there
it
and I
10
told
to
my husband
30?
what was. I went to the bathroom. I dropped the kids off. You know, I dropped my daughter off first, and I was like in the car, and I was like waiting outside. Something gonna happen? Should I call the cops? Like I was debating. I didn't know what to do. Like, is this a bad situation? So that's why I kind of went inside just to kind of check it out.
How far is it from your house to their house?
If I'm walking, it's about a 5-minute walk.
Were you driving or walking tonight?
I drove there, and then I walked back. And I drove back.
Oh, you drove back?
Yeah, it's like right around the corner.
All right, so a minute to drive?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Okay. So you're gone enough time to pass your child off to your husband, explain to him what's going on. You guys have a brief conversation about this. You go to the bathroom, and then you come back. So
yeah.
Okay.
And when you leave the house, where was Sabrina's dad? Where was Sabrina?
When I left the house, it was running around crazy because he couldn't find Sabrina. Because she was like, get away from me, I'm done talking to you. I went and hid in her dad's room, and I was crying and had my kid. Picked her up from the couch. I said, I'm not coming here again if he's going to be here because this is it. And then I left.
Okay. So was Sabrina outside though at the time?
And I didn't see her outside.
So you don't know where she went?
No.
Okay.
All I knew was get my kid out of the situation.
Okay.
So.
Do you have any questions for us?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing else I can.
No. I'm going to give you my card. I have all your information if I need you. I'll obviously call you today.